What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down, what really moved it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO did close 4.01% in the green, continuing that after hours, 0.64%, $4.55 a low, $4.75 the high. So pretty volatile day, but kind of following the technicals for the most part. A lot of volume, so 47.7 million for that, 57.1 is the average. Majority of the volume did come from algorithmic trading as well as shorts, because you still didn't see that strong level of buying coming from institutions that might come possibly the eve of their earnings, as kind of maybe FOMO kicks in. But I think a lot of larger entities are just waiting for their earnings just to see kind of the results. And I've already done a video just on some expectations, some things to kind of watch for. But two sells, so one first thing, one kind of near power hour, and then one buy for 174,000. So nothing really crazy to write home about. No official news from NIO itself, no SEC filings. A couple unofficial things did come out that I wanted to share with you, one of which was this. So NIO's founder and CEO reiterated that by the end of 2025, they're going to be selling vehicles in 25 markets. So generally that's good. So it's going to be another one of those pure EV plays, kind of matching with Tesla and Polestar. But definitely, I think NIO does need to do a lot more kind of internally to really fulfill that. That's just my own opinion, of course. I could be wrong, but generally it's good to kind of reiterate this target. So I think that's kind of a good thing. The only other thing I wanted to throw out there was this. So a little bit more speculative, but it does look like BYD and NIO might be joining forces. So this one is just from Weibo, CN or Weibo or whatever else. Unfortunately, Edge was unable to kind of translate that, so I can't really check the validity of this, but definitely it's getting a lot of likes, and based on the comments, nobody is really disagreeing with it. So just wanted to throw this out there. This is something, I don't know if people are taking this seriously or not, but that would be very, very interesting. Shorts, though, on the flip side, it did increase today, 444,000 shares. 14.51% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 193.77 billion shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 6.57%, utilization 91.64, and then short score is 75.02. I see a lot of people talking on how they expect NIO to have a mother of all short squeeze post earnings. That would be interesting to see. I don't know if that is feasible, because they would have to say something that is a complete surprise that catches shorts, Wall Street, everyone off guard, prompting a very quick spike up in the stock price. So it's very hard to get all the dominoes lined up in one scenario for a squeeze to happen, but dependent on the results, I could see shorts kind of return it back to the lows, where it was at 12% back in September. That might be more realistic, but for a mother of all short squeeze kind of scenario, leaning towards the no, in my opinion. As well, just a lot of new 13Fs have been coming out, a lot of large buys. So during Q3, so all of these 13Fs are from Q3. Some institutions increasing their position, so a lot of calls, a lot of puts, just a lot more interest, essentially. So I think a lot of large entities have been doing smaller transactions where it isn't really picked up on this. So this, like I said, is over $100,000 in one individual transaction. So maybe some entities are just doing kind of smaller ones or whatever else, but still good to see institutions slowly increasing their position. TD did increase a massive amount, but they only have 132,000 shares. As I've alluded to in the past, most likely TD could have been shorting NIO, and one way to really tell that is if we kind of orient it based on this right here. So whenever an entity has let's say one share, or even if you see this where a disclosure and they have no shares, that's just them feeling like they voluntarily need to disclose, but they have a short position, because as of right now, 13Fs do not require any short positions to kind of be known, right? With the new SEC transparency rule, first half of 2025 when it's going to be implemented, then everyone, whether you're long or short, will have to disclose your position. But as of right now, someone like who is shorting, like, yeah, they'll just put down that they have 3 shares because individual accounts. So yeah, it's kind of messed up if you think about it. So all these entities, it is fair to assume, are shorting NIO. Once it gets to kind of the thousands, then that might be realistic that they physically have that. But beside the point, I've kind of ranted enough about that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Call options, 5.12 million in calls being done today, 2.17 in puts. 44% of all the options being done today were bearish in nature. Of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be above 650. So a lot of optimism. Of course, that's largely stemming from their earnings. And then looking at the puts, you see a consensus for it to be sub roughly around that $4 range. So in my opinion, a little bit more upside is anticipated, and hopefully post earnings, you'll see a lot more institutions buying on the secondary market, as well as a whole new rush of kind of ratings. So we'll just have to wait and see. But with it closing at $4.67, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. So 432 is going to be that strong support, and then $4.89 is going to be that next strong kind of target / resistance. Didn't touch either today, but moving over to IBKR, today was a very big day because it was able to get above this ALMA. So showing signs of possibly a reversal. So a lot of heavy resistance above it. So you do have that 100 and also 200-day moving averages right here. But generally speaking, this is a good sign. Last time this did happen, it had a nice run from roughly $5 to kind of the 6-ish. So that could be coming. Right now, stochastic is very oversold, but you do see as of today the start of a nice bullish deviation. So tides are turning. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on NIO and if you think that higher highs are going to be coming, or what's your viewpoint on this. So keep in mind the technicals post earnings, like this will look very, very different. So just take that all with a grain of salt. But do you think that there is going to be a mother of all short squeeze? Are you guys part of that group where you feel that's going to come to fruition? And for those of you that kind of speak this or kind of understand this, does this make sense to you? Do you think that there's going to be some partnership in the future or not? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.